In a world that worships comfort, obedience, and safety, strength is quietly dying. Friedrich Nietzsche once warned us, the soul grows only through struggle, yet today many unknowingly walk the path of decay, mistaking it for peace. In this short journey I will unveil 3 deadly mistakes that slowly drain your strength, and how to escape their silent grip. If you've ever felt hollow inside, like you've lost your fire, your drive, your edge, this is not a coincidence. It is the result of choices, small and daily, that are killing your will to power. Let us expose them one by one before they consume you. You wake in a bed that is soft, warm, safe, the alarm hums, the room is quiet, no wolves at the door, no battles to fight, and yet, something inside you feels hollow. You are comfortable, but not alive. Nietzsche warned us, this comfort we worship, this softness we build around our lives like a cocoon, is poison. It seeps into our bones slowly, numbing our will, dulling our instincts, until the fire that once burned inside us becomes nothing more than fading embers. Comfort is seductive because it whispers promises of peace. It tells you, stay here, stay safe, do not struggle. But the soul was not forged for stillness. It was made for storms. Nietzsche believed the human spirit grows only when it wrestles with resistance, when it claws its way through chaos. Yet we have created lives designed to erase every struggle, to shield us from pain, to cradle us in an endless lullaby of convenience. You can see it everywhere. Food delivered without moving, answers appearing without thinking, pleasures arriving without effort. The modern world has made comfort not just an option, but a religion, and in worshipping it we have become frail. When a man's days are too easy, his soul grows sick. He does not roar, he does not hunt. He does not hunger for greatness, he simply waits, and with each passing day he becomes a ghost wearing his own skin. Nietzsche saw this sickness coming. He called it the decline of vitality, the slow fading of the will to power. Because when life is stripped of difficulty, there is nothing left to overcome. And when there is nothing to overcome, there is nothing left to become. Understand this, strength is not given. It is wrestled from the jaws of adversity. Every great soul you admire was tempered in fire, not comfort. Yet the moment life grows easy, that fire begins to die. Like muscles wasting away when they are never used, your spirit too will wither when it is never tested. The comfortable life does not sharpen you. It erases you. It sands down your edges until you are smooth, harmless, invisible. And perhaps that is what comfort wants. For you to stop resisting. Stop striving, stop becoming. You may tell yourself you are at peace, but deep down you know this is not peace. It is paralysis. A man who feels no struggle feels no meaning. He may smile, but his smile is hollow. He may rest, but his rest is restless. Nietzsche would ask you, what have you conquered today? What beast inside you have you faced? If the answer is nothing, then you are not living, you are merely existing, and existence without struggle is the slowest form of death. The poison of comfort works quietly. It does not roar, it does not strike, it simply waits. Each time you choose the soft path instead of the steep one, it seeps deeper. Each time you silence your hunger to avoid risk, it coils tighter around your spirit. Until one day you realize the bars of your cage are padded, and you built them yourself. Nietzsche saw this as the tragedy of modern man, that he trades the wild chaos of life for sterile safety, and in doing so, kills the part of himself that could have become something magnificent. Do you feel it? That faint ache beneath the surface, that restless energy pacing inside your chest, that is the part of you that remembers what it means to strive. It remembers mountains, storms, and battlefields. It remembers the old truth that you were not born to be comfortable, you were born to be powerful, and power is never found in pillows and warmth. It is found in the places that terrify you, in the trials that demand everything from you, in the moments that shatter who you were so you can rise as who you must become. But comfort will always be there, whispering. It will call you back to the couch, the screen, the familiar routines that ask nothing from you. It will promise safety. It will promise calm, and every time you listen, the fire inside you will shrink a little more. Nietzsche warned that man who chooses comfort over struggle is not escaping suffering. He is escaping life itself, because life is suffering, and to reject suffering is to reject life. Comfort pretends to protect you, but what it truly protects you from is your own becoming. Look around you, listen closely. The noise you hear is not thought. It is echo. People speak not from their own minds, but from the minds of others, repeating the same hollow words, wearing the same hollow smiles. Nietzsche saw this everywhere, humanity dissolving into a herd, seeking safety not in truth, but in sameness. The herd offers warmth, yes, but it also demands your soul as payment. From the moment you are born, the herd begins to shape you. It tells you what is acceptable to desire, what is respectable to fear, what is appropriate to believe. It rewards obedience with praise and punishes defiance with shame. It convinces you that agreement is virtue and questioning is rebellion. And slowly, piece by piece, you stop being someone and start becoming something, an indistinct blur, a shadow among shadows. Nietzsche despised this. He saw it as the slow death of individuality, the quiet murder of the will to power. For how can a man ascend beyond himself if he is chained to the approval of others? The herd promises safety, but what it truly gives is captivity. It builds invisible fences around your thoughts. It tells you not to step beyond them because danger waits outside, but the real danger is staying inside where your spirit starves. Nietzsche believed that greatness can never grow inside the herd because greatness is always an act of disobedience. To create, you must first betray what the herd calls sacred. To rise, you must first walk alone, and the herd fears the lone walker because he reminds them of what they could be if they had the courage to break away. But breaking away is terrifying. The herd will call you arrogant. It will call you insane. It will call you evil. It will mock you, exile you, erase you if it can, and that is why most stay. Most choose the comfort of the crowd over the agony of freedom. They merge into the many because standing as one is too heavy a burden, yet Nietzsche knew it is precisely this burden that forges the strong. The path of the individual is steep and cold, but it leads to the summit. The path of the herd is soft and crowded, but it circles endlessly around the valley floor. Consider this. When was the last time you spoke a thought that was truly your own? Not borrowed, not recycled, not tailored to be liked, but raw, honest, dangerous. The herd has trained you to fear such thoughts. It has taught you to polish your words until they are safe, smooth, forgettable, but Nietzsche would tear that mask from your face. He would demand you speak even if your voice trembles, even if the world laughs, even if you stand alone in the silence afterward, because only through defiance does the self come alive. The herd does not want you to awaken. It needs you to remain asleep, to keep nodding along, to keep believing that fitting in is the same as belonging. It will fill your life with distractions and drown your instincts in noise. It will applaud your obedience and call it goodness. It will tell you to be like everyone else and then congratulate you for disappearing. Nietzsche saw this and called it the morality of the slave, the system designed to break the wild spirit and mold it into something tame, predictable, controllable. But what is lost when you join the herd is not just your freedom, it is your becoming. You cannot rise above man while still begging for man's approval. You cannot discover your true shape while wearing the mask of the many. The herd demands you shrink yourself to fit inside it, but what if you were meant to be larger than it? What if the very reason you feel restless, alien, out of place, is because you are not meant to walk among them, but beyond them? Nietzsche would not ask you to fit in. He would dare you to stand out, to become what he called the overman, not a copy of the crowd, but the creator of your own values, the sculptor of your own soul. Every day, you are given a choice to echo or to speak, to blend or to blaze. Most will choose the first because it is easier, quieter, safer. But know this, the herd may give you comfort, but it will never give you greatness. It will cheer for you only when you are small. It will love you only when you are silent. It will accept you only if you are willing to vanish into it. Nietzsche saw the herd for what it is, a prison with invisible bars, a place where the spirit goes to sleep and never wakes again. Everywhere you look, people are running, not toward anything, but away, away from pain, away from struggle, away from anything that might wound them. They build lives padded with distractions, wrapped in comfort, designed to shield them from even the slightest discomfort. And yet, Nietzsche warned us, this fear of suffering is the very thing that robs life of its power. Because suffering is not the enemy of the soul, it is its forge. Without it, you remain soft, untested, and unknown to yourself. We are taught from the beginning to avoid pain. We are told that suffering means something has gone wrong, that it is a sign of failure, of weakness, of misfortune. But Nietzsche saw something deeper. He believed that suffering is the crucible through which greatness is born. The mind that has never been broken cannot be rebuilt stronger. The spirit that has never burned cannot rise as fire. Yet most will spend their entire lives tiptoeing around suffering as if it were death itself, never realizing that by avoiding pain they are also avoiding transformation. Think about the moments that shaped you, the ones that left scars. Were they comfortable, or were they brutal? Were they soft and easy? Or did they drag you through darkness until you came out gasping on the other side, stronger than you ever imagined you could be? Nietzsche knew this. The path to your higher self is carved through suffering. To fear suffering is to fear your own becoming, and that fear will chain you to mediocrity, forever safe, forever small, forever incomplete. Modern life promises to erase suffering. There are pills for pain, screens for boredom, distractions for despair. But this erasure is not mercy. It is sabotage because it strips you of the very trials that would make you powerful. Nietzsche would have called it spiritual anesthesia, numbing the soul until it forgets how to fight. And what is a life without struggle? It may be pleasant, it may even look perfect, but it is hollow. A soul that has never suffered has never lived. Suffering is the weight that strengthens the soul. It is the storm that reveals who you are when everything is stripped away. It burns away illusions and leaves only what is real. That is why Nietzsche did not flee from suffering. He embraced it, even celebrated it. He saw it as the necessary chaos from which creation is born. One must have chaos in oneself. He said, to give birth to a dancing star, the chaos is the pain, the star is who you could become. But if you fear the chaos, you will never see the star. The fear of suffering keeps you in cages. It convinces you to stay in jobs you hate, relationships that drain you, routines that numb you, because change might hurt. It tells you to dream smaller, aim lower, live safer, because failure might hurt. And so you obey, you lower your head, you dim your fire, and call it wisdom, but this is not wisdom. This is fear wearing the mask of reason. Nietzsche would rip that mask away and force you to look at what you are fleeing from. Because only when you face suffering willingly can you wield its power. Do not mistake this. Suffering will break you. It will tear down the illusions you've built around yourself. It will drag you through nights that seem endless. But what emerges on the other side is something unbreakable. This is why Nietzsche saw suffering not as punishment, but as initiation, the sacred ordeal through which you prove you are worthy of your own potential. Those who fear suffering stay the same. Those who endure it are reborn. The world teaches you to flee from pain. Nietzsche would demand you walk straight into it, because he understood what most refused to see, that suffering is not the shadow of life, it is the heartbeat of life. To fear it is to fear the very force that makes you grow. Pain is not the end, it is the passage. It is the trial by which you discover the depth of your own strength, the place where the false parts of you die so the real ones can rise. And until you accept this, until you stop fearing suffering, you will never truly live. There is a poison that seeps through silent hearts, unnoticed at first, growing darker with every day wasted. It begins as a whisper, life is unfair. Others have stolen what should have been yours, and soon that whisper becomes a roar that drowns out everything else. Nietzsche called it resentment, the spirit of decay, the secret sickness of those who cannot rise, and so they seek to pull the world down instead. It is easier to curse than to create, easier to resent than to build, and this is why most choose resentment, because creation demands strength, while resentment only demands bitterness. Resentment feeds on comparison. It makes you measure your worth by the shadows of others. When someone else succeeds, resentment tells you it is theft, not effort. When someone else shines, resentment insists they cheated the sun from you. And so you sit in darkness, convincing yourself the world is cruel, never seeing that it is your own refusal to create that keeps you there. Nietzsche despised this spirit. He saw how it rots the soul from within, how it twists morality itself until weakness becomes a virtue and strength becomes a sin. Those who live in resentment rewrite the world to protect their own pride. They call ambition arrogance. They call power evil. They call achievement oppression, and in doing so they avoid the truth, that they are afraid to try, afraid to fail, afraid to confront the emptiness of their own unused potential. Nietzsche saw resentment as a kind of revenge by the powerless. They cannot climb, so they curse the mountain. They cannot create, so they burn the works of others. They cannot rise, so they sneer at those who dare to stand tall. But creation is a different path, a harder path. To create is to step into the unknown, to risk humiliation, to bleed for something that might collapse in your hands. Creation demands responsibility. It demands you stop blaming and start building. It asks you to dig into the chaos of your own soul and pull something new from it, something fragile and defiant in yours. That is why so few choose it. It is easier to remain a critic, easier to remain a cynic than to become a creator. Nietzsche knew this. He knew that creation is the highest expression of strength, and that those who cannot summon that strength will instead devote themselves to tearing down what others build. Narrator voice rising, intense. Resentment is always watching, always waiting for you to falter. It lurks in the corners of your mind, whispering that your failures are not your fault, that your stagnation is someone else's doing. It tells you the game is rigged so you do not have to play. It offers you the sweet relief of surrender dressed as righteousness. But every time you listen, it corrodes a little more of your spirit. Every time you indulge it, you move further from who you could become and closer to the hollow shell it wants you to be. Nietzsche saw this as the greatest danger to the human spirit, not destruction from the outside, but decay from within. Creation, on the other hand, gives nothing easily. It will break you open. It will make you doubt everything you are. It will demand that you confront the void and carve meaning into it with your bare hands. And yet, it is only through this struggle that you become something more than what you are. Nietzsche believed that to live fully is to create values, not inherit them. To shape your own world, not wait for one to be given to you. Creation is defiance against the gravity of resentment. It is the act of choosing to build even when destruction is easier, even when cynicism is tempting, even when despair is louder than hope. Those who choose resentment believe they are safe from pain, but they are not. They are consumed by it. They rot quietly while convincing themselves they are righteous, but those who choose creation embrace pain as the price of becoming. They know they will fail, but they rise again. They know they will be mocked, but they speak anyway. They know they will be broken, but they keep building. Nietzsche would have called this the ultimate courage, to stand before the abyss, to feel its cold breath on your face, and still dare to say, I will create. Because creation is not comfort, it is not safety. It is the act of setting your soul on fire to bring something into existence that has never existed before. You have seen the traps now, the poison of comfort that lulls you to sleep, the herd that drowns your voice, the fear of suffering that chains you to mediocrity, and the venom of resentment that rots the soul. These are the silent assassins of strength, the forces Nietzsche warned would hollow out the spirit of man while he smiles and calls it happiness. But you are not meant to be hollow. You are not meant to be safe. You are meant to burn, to struggle, to stand alone if you must, and to create something that bears your name in the face of eternity. Strength is not given. It is seized from chaos, from pain, from defiance. So choose the harder path, reject the soft comforts that weaken you, step beyond the herd and walk your own path, welcome suffering as the fire that will forge you, abandon resentment and build something greater instead. The world will not hand you strength, but it will offer you struggle, and if you dare to embrace it, you will become more than you are, you will become who you were meant to be.